Hello from slidenerd and hello from Weaves. What's up folks? In this vid, I'm going to talk about the Toast in Android. Now if you guys are beginners in Android, you probably heard this word Toast somewhere or you saw this on Google Developer Android or Android.com and you probably wondered what it is. The Toast is nothing but a simple message that appears at the bottom of your app or your activity which says this is a Toast message. As you guys can see in the image which I have included here in the background, it appears for a short duration then it disappears. Now you can use this while you're debugging your apps to test what is going on, what works and what doesn't work, right? So you can do something like giving the user some feedback of what is going on. For example, here when the user selects the time inside the alarm 7 a.m. he selects it using the checkbox. There is a Toast message which appears and tells the user that the alarm is going to ring after 10 hours and 7 minutes from now, right? And then the best part about Toast is it does not block the activity or fragment inside which it appears. Remember, it's not like a dialog, it just appears on top of your activity and disappears, right? And it disappears after a short time, like I said. Now how do you create a Toast? It's pretty simple. You can use the Toast class by saying toast is Toast.makeText. Now this makeText method is a static method inside your Toast class that is gonna give you an object of type Toast, right? And this method requires three parameters. One is gonna be a context. Now if you guys are beginners, you're wondering what context means. Context is a simple way to access resources in Android and access system level services. For example, you can have system level services like GPS, you can have them like alarm service, notification service and so on. So context gives you access to those services and you need to pass a reference to this context inside your Toast object when you're creating it. Then you have this char sequence text. This is simply the text that you want to display on the user to the user, and then you have the time duration. Now if you're beginners, you're probably wondering what duration is all about. Remember, duration can take only two values. One is length underscore short and other is length underscore long. Now both of them are static fields inside your Toast class. But you can say toast.length underscore short and length underscore long, right? And after this step, the most important part which people always forget is to call the show method. Remember, at this point you simply created and defined the object. You have given the handle, you have defined what text it should display, and you have defined what amount of time it should be shown on the screen. But you need to actually show it. So you say toast.show and then the toast appears on the screen. So let's actually jump into Eclipse and actually make a toast and see if our message comes properly on the screen or not. So here I am inside my Android developer tools, which is the latest version of Eclipse. I have my Weaves Toast test project over here, and if you see, Eclipse has generated everything for me. I have not written even 1 ounce of code. There's a graphical layout, and then I have my XML layout which is having a relative layout at the top, and then inside that there's a text view, right? So let me actually go ahead and add a button first. What I want is I want to remove this text view, put a button over here so that when I click the button the toast appears here at the bottom. So first let me do that by adding a button by saying, so here inside my button I'm gonna go ahead and rename it and say show toast, and I'll also define what happens when my button is clicked. For that I'll override my onClick attribute. I'm gonna say Android onClick, call the method show toast when the button is clicked, right? So let me actually go ahead in my Android app inside my Java file and make this method. So here I'm inside my Weaves Toast test.java. There's a lot of garbage written. I'm gonna remove that. So let me make that method by saying public. Now if you see, it says private by default. Press Control space so that Eclipse can generate the method. I'm gonna say public over here, and this needs a parameter view, right? So I'm gonna say, so now I'm gonna make the toast object. I'm gonna say toast.makeText, the static method inside the toast class that does that for us. I'm gonna pass the context as this because the context is actually a super class of the activity, so you can pass that also. And then you have the char sequence text. Here I'm gonna put the text as, for the duration part, if you remember, there are only two values, either it's length underscore long or it's length underscore short. I'm gonna use the static field toast dot length underscore long for now. Now at this point the object has been created but you have not shown the toast yet, so I'm gonna say toast dot show, right? And bam, we're done. So let me actually go ahead and select this and run this on our emulator. Select it on the left side, click run at the top. So here in my emulator, Weaves Toast test app is running and the button show toast is there. I'm gonna click on that button. It's gonna call the show toast method inside my activity, and bam, there you see hello from slidenerd and Weaves, and bam, it disappeared. If I click 1, 2, 3 times, what happens in these cases is that the toast gets queued up. As you guys can see, it is coming over a second time. It's gonna disappear automatically, come for a third time. So remember one thing, if you click on toast continuously, they are gonna be queued up and they are gonna come up one after the other regardless of the duration, right? So now as you guys saw, the toast which came up on the screen was not really that good, to be honest with you, because I couldn't control where it would appear on the screen. So what we can do is we have some limited control on where the toast appears. We can control its position by using certain methods. There is this method called set gravity. It takes three parameters: int gravity, int x distance, int y distance. Now let's actually see what this gravity means. For example, if you say toast.set gravity, gravity.left, in that case this toast is gonna come on the left side. If you say right, in that case the toast is gonna come on the right side. Then you can also append two or more parameters together. For example, you can say gravity.bottom pipe gravity.right. In that case it's gonna be bottom and right. Take a look, bottom is over here and right is actually over here, and bottom and right is gonna be a mixture of both those, and it's gonna come over here, bottom, right, right. So you can go ahead and try with the different gravity, and you can play with it. I'm gonna put center on my Eclipse just to show you guys that it works. So here, before I show the toast, I'm gonna say toast.set gravity. I'm gonna say gravity class. This has all the static fields inside. I'm gonna say gravity.center. For the x offset, I'm gonna currently keep it 0 0 for both. You guys will see what this means shortly. For now, let's just save this, select it on the left side, run it again. So now if I click on show toast, you guys can see it's coming perfectly in the center because we set the gravity as center. Let's say I want very precise control over exactly where the toast should appear. So in that case, what we can do is we can use the other two coordinates along with the set gravity method. If you remember, x coordinate and y distance or something like that. Let me go back to the presentation and show you what those methods were. So here we can exactly control the position by saying toast.set gravity, gravity.center 100 and 200. Now what happens in this case is that this is your default hello, which is in the center. But if you say 100, then an x distance of 100 and at a y distance of 200, this is where the toast appears. This is the exact spot where the toast appears. So you can control the x and the y coordinates inside the set gravity method, and you can specify the distance from the center from which x and y should appear. Now remember, this distance is relative to this parameter. If you say gravity.left and then you say 100 and 200, it's gonna be 100 for x and 200 for y from the left position. Here I've just set center, so it starts counting the distance from the center position. You can again go ahead, play with these values inside your Eclipse, gravity.center, this x offset, this y offset, and let me know what happens. So I hope you guys have understood something out of this vid. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Have a nice